Here we are, another unboxing, kicking it with a brand new item from B2 Audio in the USA. Never made before, a Riot 10-inch.
This way you can see it before you buy it.
So these only came in for dual 4s. And what is the Riot series? Well, I'm gonna get in that. Make sure you hit the like button, leave a comment. You can always leave another one at the end of the video. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. And if you are checking this out on another social platform, you can hit the follow and or like. Doesn't cost you a dime, but it helps us out.
It's free.
So here we are, B2 Audio Riot 10-inch. What is the Riot series? Well, the Riot series, they're entry level, and there's not much really entry level about B2 Audio products, which are designed in Europe, Denmark actually. And yes, some of the stuff is from China like most, but man, nothing B2 Audio I say is substandard.
All right, let's go for B2.
This is the entry level Riot. So there is a Riot 12 and a Riot 15, which do come in dual 4 and dual 2, but 10s are making a real good strong comeback. 8s and 6s are huge in the USA.
Huge.
Which B2 Audio is known for their 6s and 8s. They just came out with the Rampage 6, which is a 1,000 watt RMS 6-inch woofer. But we're talking about the Riot here. So normal map is $279 a piece, so it is still not your cheap $100 or $200. It is $279. At the time of the video, for the month of February, there is 10% off tax sale on all the B2 Audio dealers. So you'll save a few bucks. But this is a 750 watt RMS, which is definitely underrated, as you'll see.
Okay, let's see.
We're gonna unbox this, we're gonna go over it, and then we're gonna have some fun doing the old flex testing and stuff like that. So, you have the B2 Audio tape. And literally, these are the first ones ever in the US. Kind of cool. And why? Well, I mean, not everybody can afford $500,000 subwoofers, so that's what you got the Riots for. Okay, so as you can see, we got the first box. Which I know B2 Audio has been working a lot on the packaging, not as important out of the country, not as many online type sales as in the country. So more and more of the product is coming with better boxing, better manuals, scannable codes to get the PDFs. Oh man, so even this 750 watt woofer has another box. So you don't have to worry about this thing getting shipped to you for sure. Hopefully you're either buying it from BigJeffAudio.com or B2 Audio USA or any one of the B2 Audio dealers. Okay, we finally got in here, and I got a B2 Audio sticker. Everybody loves stickers. That's a clear background, white font.
Here's a sticker.
We have paper and also a scan code. And then on top, you have nice padding. And then we get down to the woofer. I still think 750 watts is definitely underrated. Oh, yeah. Okay, and then in the 3 boxes, you can see there is more foam and the stuff is just flying everywhere. Okay, let me first get you a weight on this. Let me get my scale on here. Okay, so this is a 10-inch dual 4-ohm, which comes in at 24 pounds, 4 ounces. So,
oh wow, that's big. That is big.
Definitely some weight in the motor. Okay, I mean, it's definitely got some weight. All right, this is cool. Now, this is their entry-level speaker or subwoofer. All right, first thing I noticed, and I'm just gonna do a quick scan through, the red spider, which they're known for, has a screw down plate. So this is glued and it has a mount, which is cool. I'm seeing double stitching with the red and white B2 logo on it. Push terminals. Got in the basket where it actually screws down to the magnet, which is nice. You also have it bolted down what looks like hex. And then all the B2 woofers are really cool because it's wide open underneath, which we're gonna take close up. So venting is always good. Okay, and then underneath, which we'll get close-ups.
Do a close-up.
You have the B2 Audio logo, nice boot, beveled port here for airflow. I mean, this is a 3-inch woofer, copper coil. Definitely, you know, rating this to 750 watts is I would say underrated. But again, what I've seen with all the B2 testing, especially the mids and highs, very efficient, which means you don't need a ton of power to create the output. The mids and highs that blow me away, the tweeters, and definitely the woofers. So this is really cool. Let's get the up close and personal camera here.
Up close and
which I love this thing.
Engage.
Okay, so we have our tinsel leads. B2 Audio is famous for having that horseshoe. And then we have our red spider. We have our push terminals. And then you can see in here we have the B2 logos. We have our copper coil. Up top, we have our stitching. Let me make sure I get this right for y'all. There you go. We have our double stitching. We have a high surround, so probably pretty good excursion. And then here I was showing you, and let's get up in there. I always say it. This goes all the way up into the top of the cone, which I'm got this thing all the way in there right now. Let me straighten her out for you. We'll go straight in. See, too many people go too far to look inside their woofers, but that is the top there where the dust cap is. I am in there several inches. You have a beveled edge we talked about, and you still have these drilled portholes, which you can see in there. So there is a ton of air that this will move, which helps keep this thing clean. And then real quick, go back to that camera. You can see the B2 badging everywhere. You know, there's only so many baskets you can make out there, but at least B2 Audio went to the point to brand their name everywhere on there. So let's look at some specs, because if I want to remember correctly, I think this has an FS of like 36 or so. So the Riot 10, yeah, has, and this is weird, on the dual 4 it says an FS of 36.9. They do have a dual 2 on here, and I think those might come out March or later in the year. And those have actually a little bit lower of an FS, 34.9. Rated, and here's the weird thing, it's a dual 4 ohm, but also says DC resistance is 3.2 ohm. Voice coil 3-inch. X-Max one-way 18 millimeter. And then there is some potential enclosures. So the Riot 10 sealed 0.371 cube. So they're saying sealed. It could work. Tiny box. Ported compact. Oh, excuse me. I take that back. 0.7 cube. Okay, so 3/4 of a cube sealed. Ported enclosure small would be 1.23, and fully sized they're recommending 1.76 ported. And then they do have on the side here, you'll see in the pamphlet, and you can also scan the code. A little closer. There you go. That's what I'm reading. Sweet like a Danish. 3-to-1 ratio for 4th order. There is some notes here, which first time really paying attention to that. Essential that the speakers are given a loud time for the suspension to soften up, depending on use. It may take several weeks while the process is ongoing. So basically, this has actually got what they consider a tight spider. I think it's pretty loose, but they're also recommending that you don't just get in there and just kill it. Let it loosen up. So that's real important. Okay, so looking at this thing, and I'll turn on the Big Jeff cam.
Big Jeff cam activated.
We can kind of get a close up. There we go, and I'll do a little spin around. There you go. And then if we go a little lower, you can see right through here. They got to think there's just a ton of air that blows out to help cool this thing down. I really love the B2 logos and then the stitching. I think it just looks classy, nice around. You got a rubber gasket and push terminals. 8 gauge, probably more like 12, depending on what type of wire, but really for subwoofers, for 10-inch or 1,000 watts or so, 12 gauges, sufficient enough. Okay, so here we are. Now the best way to get into this is get it in the, I got the flex test booth or whatever you want to call it, never really named it, but we're gonna put that in there. And during this video, I'm mixing up because instead of using the Big Jeff bass knob to adjust the volume, we were doing a video too today on a bass knob from DS18 that is universal and it does temp and volt. So I'm going to use that with this video to show how it works. So hit that like button if you haven't done it. Hit the share button right away. It'd be great. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps us out to do giveaways and videos and everything else. Big shout out to B2 Audio, B2 Audio USA for making Big Jeff Audio a distributor and a approved online seller, and also getting the product first to do marketing and everything else. Big comeback this year, 2025 with B2 Audio USA. And mid-year, we'll have all their SKUs, new and old, in stock. I mean, there's a lot of new stuff. B2 really jumped back in the game. So let's get this thing Movie Magic hooked up. And let's, I know you guys love seeing these things move. We're gonna get it flexing. So I'm Big Jeff from BigJeffAudio.com. Movie Magic, be right back. We're back. And I was just live at the time. So if you were timed in February 8th, Saturday when we're shooting this, I went live. I'm gonna try to go live again. Tuning in on a Saturday about noon, Florida time. We are now going to do some testing on a Riot 10, which is brand new sub for the USA. They never had a Riot 10 before. 10s are making a comeback. 8s and 6s has been strong for trucks, but 10s are making a comeback. So the entry-level B2 Riot series. So I'm going to see, I'll turn this on. So we took a network rack, unused, built some tops for it to mount the subwoofers for the flex test and all the other stuff. So a couple things I noticed when we got this mounted up. So for you all the first time watching, I took a network rack because originally company was small network. Then I got one of those big ones. So anyway, I reused this, turned this into a stand. Me and my buddy built some tops with cutouts for the woofers and to mount it down. So it's really cool. The other thing I noticed is on this, which I'll turn on the Big Jeff cam, the mounting depth, which I didn't bring up in the beginning part of the video, this thing's got like less than 7 inches mounting depth. So it barely sticks out, which is really cool. So this 10-inch can work in a lot of boxes. I think, and it's on our website, I think it's like 7-point-something inches overall, and it's under 6 actual mounting depth. So really cool. So what do we got going on to do our flex test? Well, we have the SMD here to emit us a tone, and I'm using this because we're also doing a video for this DS18 universal bass knob with temp and voltage. So you can see when I turn it on, it's showing the voltage right now, 15.6, and that's a volume control. And then if I click that button, it shows it's 72 degrees because there's a piece right here that gets mounted on your subwoofer to check temperature. So this is a really cool piece, and we have them. They're $59.95. Okay, so we have that, and then I'm using my trusty Martz Digital 5K, which I use on everything. It's a full range amp. We have this wire up. This is a Riot 10 dual 4, so it's a 2 ohm load. We're still gonna send a ton of power at 15 volts. I got her mounted down. When I just did a little test run, I got this thing jumping that the whole cart moved. So this thing's got some excursion. So let's get a couple things going first. I'm gonna turn on my SMD. This is the IM-SG Plus. You can actually use this to find out what your FS is, but I'm going to use this just to emit a tone, and I'm going to start small. I'm going to start at 20 hertz, get this turned on. Okay, so right away you can see this thing jumping. Okay, so that's 20 hertz. And now I'm giving it some power. Look at that thing. Okay, this is a 750 watt RMS speaker. Okay, I'm gonna let it break in a little bit, let it heat up. So a couple things we're gonna do is we're gonna actually see how high this thing will jump. We're gonna go between different frequencies. We're gonna go a couple different frequencies, high and low, and see it. And it's really cool because there's a thing called frames per second with cameras. So it looks like it's moving real slow, but I'll go like this. It's actually moving really fast, but the way the camera's seeing it. So it's really fun. I know you guys love to see this stuff. What I just want to show is the Excursion on the entry-level Riot series, which, yes, it's $279. At the time of this video in February 2025, there is a 10% off tax sale, which I just got done in my live telling everybody with the tariffs coming, you better jump on that because everybody's already talking about by April, March, April, all prices going up, anything from China. So this right here is showing my voltage, and I have a bass knob here, which works really good. This is universal. So this also has a remote in and a remote out, so you can use this to turn everything on, and then you have RCA ins and outs. And then you have a temperature, which gets stuck on or screwed onto whatever to track temperature. So that's really cool. Big shout out DS18. We have these. It's a great item. All right, so let's go back to the woofer here, and I'm going to give this thing some power. And you can see this thing really, that thing is really moving. It's already, I mean, the whole table is, let me get that off. Okay, so this thing is hopping right now. It's moving all over the place. Yeah. And then I'm gonna go a little higher. 23. Now, you can see when I'm in that 32 hertz, it's actually moving faster in real life. Okay? But that thing is moving. I mean, it is moving right now. We'll go up about 40. And you can see it's not really, it's a shorter move for the higher hertz. Lower hertz, it'll look slower, and it's gonna move further. So let's get it back down there. Look at this thing jump. All right, and I'm pushing some power. I'm gonna give it a little more power. Look at that thing. That thing is hopping. Now, what I really like here is I'm going to go underneath. You can see there's so much air venting, and we saw that in the unboxing. I mean, I can feel the magnet. It's ice cold, and it's running, which is cool. And that's a big thing about B2 Audio is the design. It's not cookie cutter. You know, what you see on the outside isn't always what's on the inside. There's ways to cut money, right? The voice coil, the spider, if you're gonna have like the ports beveled or not. So even though that say, that cage, that basket looks like a, hey, you don't even know who first came up. There's only so many baskets out there, but I can tell you there's branding all over it. This thing is really cool. So we're gonna give it some more juice. I'm gonna go down 25 hertz. Yeah, baby. So 39 is where it says its FS is at. And we're right there 36. Let's get to 36. So we're at 36. And that thing is bumped. Look at that thing. Okay. Man. I'm gonna tell you, that thing's taking some power. I'm not even gonna hook up the flare because I'd have to have it running long, but I can tell you right now, it's not even warm at all. Nowhere on it. Really cool. This is the Riot 10. Good short mounting depth, wide open basket, great excursion as you can see. Beautiful stitching, B2 Audio quality, the dust cap, big dust cap. I mean, they're just really nice. And even this, I know it's $279, you can get a lot of stuff cheaper, but man, if you want to get into B2 Audio, right now, here's what you can do. There is a Rage 2000. If you don't know what it is, go check out the videos. You can search them. It was an amp that came in and the bass knob read Celsius instead of Fahrenheit. And basically where amps say, hey, it's too hot, I'm shutting off, that was off, and it was a quick mod, as they call it, right? A resistor change. We did that in-house, and an amp that should be well over $300 because it's a solid 2000 watt 1 ohm amp with a nice bass knob. We have them right now for $219.95. So you want to get into B2 right now. You can get 2 of these, 10% off, so I think it's around $251 each right now in February of 25. Get 2 of those in that Rage 2000, and we also have nice boxes. So we sell the GP boxes and also King Rhinoco boxes, and we just brought in lesser expensive audio pipe carpeted boxes. So there is a HD one that has 3/4 inch and you have 5/8. I always recommend getting a custom built box, any woofer. You want to get the max out of a speaker or what it's potentially able to do, you get a box built to spec, not just a speaker, but your cabin size, everything else, tuning frequency. But if not, the boxes we sell have a tuning frequency. Some of them we've even labeled that'll work with certain speakers. But you can get into this, let's see, so it's $250, that's 5, 6, 7. Well, I mean, less than $1,000, you can get 2 10s, a nice box like a Rhino coated box, and a Rage 2000 and Pimp B2 audio all the way. We have it right now. You want to step it up from there. The DSPs are shipping next week. The new Rage amps, the big ones will be here March. Right now, the 0 amps. So there's so many levels of B2 audio, but this is the Riot series, first time ever having this in the US, or actually worldwide. They never made a Riot. And we have them dual force. All right, hey, listen, I'm Big Jeff. This was a cool flexing. Also was able to put some DS18 in here. Check out that bass knob. It's in our bass knob section. You can have temp, voltage, and a remote turn on. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Listen, guys, thank you so much. Remember, share this out, follow, subscribe, do the works. We'll be doing it to the end of time. I'm Big Jeff from BigJeffAudio.com, representing B2 Audio and B2 Audio USA. I'll see you on the next one.